How's it going, everybody? Dusty Smith with Run Florida here, and we're going to be interviewing Loren James Jr. He is out of the Jacksonville area. He is a very busy man with many roles. Um, we're happy to have him today. He's the head track coach at Bishop Kenny, head coach and founder of River City Finish Track and Field and Cross Country Club, and the head coach at St. Matthew's Catholic. And he is also the director of the Diocese of St. Augustine Cross Country League. So, again, man of many roles. Welcome to the Run Florida podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm glad you have me on today.
Yeah, no problem, man. We are super happy to have you. Um, so our relationship goes back a couple years now with you coaching and with me timing and putting on events. But when talking to you and looking over, your information and background, I see you were a Bishop Kenny alumni of 2003,
Yep.
and I was Columbia High School alumni of 2002. So we were definitely at the same spot at the same time and didn't know it.
A lot of places. Yep.
Yep. So I'm sure Bob Hayes was probably one, Florida Relays.
hmm
Um, I went back and found a video of you in the 400 at our Columbia High School Eye of the Tiger meet that we held at University of Florida my senior year. You were a junior that year, so um, it's funny how that all works out and happens.
Right. You stayed out. It's like if you love it, you end up doing what you love, and we both in the running community. And look at what you're doing in the running community with Run Florida and all that. So
Yeah, and it's crazy. You think you're done with track and field after you get through running, and then you just end up getting sucked back in somehow. So um, also, you went on. Did you go immediately to college after high school, or was there a year or two off there?
yes, I went to right after I graduated. I got into Florida A&M University, and then I walked on to their track team for 2 years.
Okay. And what events did you do while you were there?
Just the 400.
Just the 400. What about high school? Did you do just 400 in high school, or did you do multiple
Uh,
events?
in high school, I did everything. High school, I ran the 100, the 200, 400, 4x1, 4x4, long jump. Um, yeah, pretty much all the sprint events and then the adjacent sprint events with the jumps.
I gotcha. And do you remember by chance what your personal records are in the 400 in high school and then in college?
Yeah, so my personal best in high school was 49.1. Um, I ran that, I believe, in my senior year in regionals. And then when I got to college, 47. But, 47 in college is average.
Yeah, it's still pretty fast though. Still pretty fast. Um, so after that, you went to FSCJ for air traffic control. Is that right?
Yeah, so I went to Florida A&M for my degree in mechanical engineering, and it's actually funny because a friend's dad is an air traffic controller, and he was like, "Hey, Loren, you should probably take this test and see what you do." So I took it, and I scored in the 99th percentile of the whole country. And he was like, "You could be a really good air traffic controller." And then I looked it up, and I saw how much air traffic controllers make. I was like, "Oh, they make six figures." I was like, let me do that. So now I talked to my mom. I was like, I'm not even gonna finish my last year of college. I'm gonna just go do that. She was like, no, you didn't did all this. You have to finish school. And I was like, all right. So then I finished, graduated, and then I was looking for air traffic control schools. And of course, the big school here in Florida is Emory-Riddle, and they have a great program down there. But then someone informed me about the FACJ's program over at Cecil Field, which is way cheaper, especially being a newly graduated college student. So I was able to afford that, and then did that, and then end up getting my certification for air traffic control over at FSCJ.
Okay. How long did you so you became an air traffic controller?
No,
Okay.
so it's funny how I tell the story. It's funny how we are called, how God gives us our calling to do what we're supposed to do. Um, Even though I scored in 98%, the 99 percentile, even though I had a 3.8 GPA in the classes and all that, they implemented this weird personality test. And it didn't matter what your grades were and how you did in the classroom. If you couldn't pass the personality test, they told you couldn't be an air traffic controller. And I failed the personality test 4 times. But
Okay.
during that time of me being an air traffic controller, obviously I graduated from Bishop Kenny High School, and then I reached out to the athletic director, which was well, the head coach, football coach was Mark Thorson at the time, and now he's the athletic director. And I asked, could I just help out? And while I was doing the air traffic controller stuff, because I was in Tallahassee, so when I came back to Jacksonville, it was kind of like a little side thing to do. And then once the air traffic control thing didn't fall through, I noticed my love for track and coaching and teaching the kids kind of became really big. And then that's when it started to grow bigger and bigger for me. And I became more and more involved. And that's like my calling. So,
Okay. All right. Well, it is funny the roads that we go down and the paths that we take and where we end up. Um, so the main reason that I, asked you to come on here is, you run that Diocese League, let's see, what is it? The Diocese of St. Augustine Cross Country League.
yes.
Um, so for those people that may not know, and I told you before this interview, like I didn't really know what the diocese was. So could you maybe explain that for people watching out there that may not know what it is?
All right. So the Diocese of St. Augustine, when St. Augustine was founded, it was founded by the Spanish, and Spanish were huge in the Catholic Church. So when they brought that over, they brought their religion, and the Catholic Church started building in the North Florida area. So as they started to build, they created a diocese of schools and churches. So all the way west to Lake City, down to St. Johns County, into St. Augustine, up to Nassau County. There's churches and schools and all types of institutions all over the North Florida area. So the diocese encompasses all that. And when you hear about nuns and pastors and preachers, it's all of that encompassing the diocese. And with that, down to my level is the schools that they founded. There's 22 grade / middle schools in the diocese, I believe, and I believe about 19 or 20 of them participate in our league.
Oh,
And it makes it a bit. Actually, we are the biggest middle school league in the Southeast United States.
that's
All
awesome.
country league. So
Okay. So when did this start? When did you start the league?
I didn't start it.
Okay.
So being that the Catholic grade schools have been around for a while, they have basketball, soccer, volleyball, softball, and I believe cross country was started somewhere in the mid 2012, 2015, somewhere around there. I can't remember his name, but one of the coaches at the school started it, and it started with like 3 or 4 schools, the bigger schools in the diocese, like Assumption and San Jose and things like that. And then I joined when I started coaching at St. Matthew's in about 2018. And then the guy that was over it, eventually, he said he's going to retire and he didn't want to keep it going, but he said he wanted to keep the league going. So I kind of stepped up and took it over in 2019, going in 2020, and then been the director ever since.
Okay. And so like you said, it's gone from 4 schools up to 19 to 20 schools currently.
Yes.
That's amazing. Very awesome. Um, and then you kind of already touched on this. The league is for the diocese, and it's not just St. Augustine, even though it says St. Augustine. It's the St. Augustine, and it covers the North Florida area, right?
Yeah. So the Diocese of St. Augustine is the name of the diocese, but yeah, it covers the North Florida area, um, all the Catholic grade schools and middle schools in the area. And then it's great because our league has blossomed. Me as a coach, I like to give kids opportunities. So we have everything from 1K runs from the K through second grade, 2K, third through fifth, and then the middle schools run to 3K, and they all get a chance to compete and run those. I believe we have 5 meets a year. Yeah, we have 5 meets a year, and then we have an adjacent meet, Katie Caples at Bishop Kenny, which gets the kids to run too. So
Awesome. Very awesome. Um, Do you have any upcoming dates that you want to share with us for the diocese?
Yes, it's crazy because the middle school cross country season ends at the at the end of October with the Flyer state championship meet. So um, we as coaches we get together and we put together our schedule to kind of match that, so we end our season the same time because a lot of these athletes run in the state meet. Our next meet is Wednesday down at St. Augustine Fairgrounds. That's kind of like the home meet for our school down in Flagler, St. Elizabeth and Seton. They come to Jacksonville for every meet from Flagler, which is amazing. And
Right.
then, and that's October 1st. And October 8th is our league championship meet, and that'll be at Ed Austin Regional Park, where we honor our all conference and all stars from the season.
Okay. Well, awesome. Um, so switching gears, and you kind of touched on this already a little bit, but um, you've coached at BK. Like, how many years have you been there now?
Oh, I think it's 14. I started coaching football in fall of 2012 and track in 2013, and it's what, 25, 26, so 13 years, 13, 14 years.
Yeah, we're getting old.
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
it was like I said, I reached out to Mark Thorson for football, but I remember going to the first coaches meeting, and at the time, Bob West was the athletic director, and he was like, "Lauren, you ran track, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "We need a new sprints coach. You think you want to do it?" And I was like, "I was actually going to come ask you, could I coach track too?" And he was like, "Perfect, because we need somebody." And so, like, I've been on the coaching staff since 2012, and then when Kevin Curran, when he finally stepped down, when he stepped down 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And then I took over as the head girls coach, but now I'm the head boys coach. But we kind of share the same duties. So we're kind of like the same hat of head coach overall. But I mainly work with the sprints, jumps, and javelin throwers.
okay. And then you started the River City Finish Club. What year did you start that?
Yeah, so I started the River City Finish in 2016. I believe it was 2016, unofficially. I
Okay.
officially got it licensed and got my nonprofit, I believe, in 2017. But it was in 2016 because I remember I had 5 student athletes who would not leave me alone over the summer. They was like, "Coach, we need to train more for track. We do this, but then I'm not getting better and I'm not doing football or other sports. I need to train more." So I was like, "Okay, we can train." And then I started looking at meets doing over the summer and different things and start putting some ideas together. And then the kids kind of helped me put it together, the name and how we were going to do it. And in 2016, I started with 4 or 5 kids, and now it's blossomed to where I think at one point in time our team was as big as 60 kids, but I've coached anywhere from 100 to 200 kids that are active in the Jacksonville high school, middle school, track and cross country area right now.
Okay. So how did the name come about? Like River City Finish. I mean, River City obviously with Jacksonville, but like, where did the finish come from?
So I'm very big on meanings and words that have meaning. So finish is actually an acronym for the F is for focus, I is for intelligence, the N's for never give up, the second I is for intensity, the S is for strength, and the H is for heart. And then I wanted it to be finish. And then we were kind of thinking of how we wanted to incorporate like where we were from. And actually, Kevin Curran came up with the idea of calling it River City. I think we were the one. I mean, we were Jacksonville is known as the River City, but when I came up with the name, it was kind of like one of the first businesses and groups to kind of call River City. Now you look around, there's like River City everything. So it was
Right.
like, that'd be kind of different instead of being like Jack's Finish or this. We can be River City Finish. So then that's where the name comes, River City to represent Jacksonville, and then Finish.
So we can add trendsetter to the resume as well, right?
Yes.
Um, so any notable athletes that you've had come through the program that you'd like to maybe tell us about, or some that we would know, familiar
uh,
names?
Definitely had a lot of notable athletes. A few of our past athletes, Arlazon Brumfield graduated in 2017, I believe. went on to Tennessee State University. He was his senior year of high school at BK. He won state in triple jump, and then he went on to Tennessee State, and ended up being, I want to say, 13-time conference champion in the long jump and triple jump.
Right.
Obviously, indoor outdoor titles.
Right.
And then he had the COVID year, so he had the extra year. But and I know I want to say 2021, he won the NCAA East Regional at UNF, which was amazing to see. He got to go to Oregon and compete at nationals. Did pretty well there. Um, Gabrielle Johnson, who's at UNF right now, is one of our top runners. That was one of our top runners. Uh, Hay- Kamaya Haywood. Make sure I say her name right. She's at University of Tennessee. Who else do we have? Those are some of the ones that graduated, but recently we do have a couple top athletes. I know we have London Dawkins as one of our top seniors on our team right now. She's uncommitted and she's looking to find a school, but she actually goes to Terry Parker High School. And this is crazy. This is crazy how track has grown. She ran 56.6 in the 400 at States and got ninth last year in the 400, which she was kind of upset, and she was like, I didn't make podium. I was like, girl, you just ran 56 for the first time like ever. Do you know how
Right.
many people wish, how many guys wish they ran 56, and you just ran
Right.
56 and you have a whole nother year? um um Kevian is another senior. Kevian has actually been in a program since he was like 7 years old, and he's 18, so he's been one that's been in the program the longest. um He's a thrower. He throws shot and disc. His best disc is 43 meters, which is about 141 feet. He goes to Bishop Snyder High School. We have Kalia Bing. She also goes to Bishop Snyder High School. She's going to be a junior this year. She actually won New Balance Nationals 2 years ago as a freshman in the long
Wow.
jump. I believe she jumped like 5.88 meters, which is 20 feet and something.
Yeah.
Like, she's a beast and she's a monster. Um, who else we got on our team? That's uh, and then this summer we had Felicity Lyles at AAU Club Champions. She got second in the nation in long jump. Um, uh, Thanks to Coach Brooks, we call him Dean of Jump. She jumps you, and then not Noah. Oh gosh, so many names. Nolan. Trunell. I always screw up his last name, but Nolan. He was a eighth grader in our program, and he actually won club championships. And they gave him a fat ring too. I didn't know AAU give him rings. I was actually kind of jealous. But he's as an eighth grader going into ninth grade, already a national champion in discus. And Lucas, who was in the same age group, got second. So we actually took first and second in that. So yeah, we got some pretty good athletes. We're not a big club team, but we have some pretty
Some pretty,
good athletes.
yeah, some productive athletes for sure.
Yes.
Well, do you have anybody you want to give shout out to? Some other coaches that work with you, family members, anybody like that?
Yes, of course. I already mentioned Coach Brooks. He's our sprints and jumps coach. We call him Dean of Jumps U. Met him when I was getting USATF certified up in Savannah. Shout out to Coach Richard, um, our throws coach. I think in our national meet, I think him alone with his athletes, I think they brought home the most All-American medals this year. Then we have Coach Joe Javerick. I believe that's how I pronounce the last name. He's actually the head coach at Covenant right now. He's
Okay.
helping me with the distance program. Um, Coach Julio. Coach Julio is newly head coach at Bishop Snyder. He works with sprints and jumps as well. The retired Coach Bing, he wants to be called Uncle Bing, but he was definitely instrumental in helping me when I started the program because I know nothing about throws, and he was Kevian's first coach when he was younger and brought him up through. He was our first throws coach, but he also now he's just he's helping out on more of the um the paperwork side of things. Coach Cassie, Jackson. She's our secretary, and Coach Q Dawkins. She's our treasurer, and all together we work to put this thing together, trying to make it grow, trying to get these kids to school for free because school is not cheap. So,
Absolutely. Well, all right, man. Well, that's awesome, and I really appreciate you taking the time. Again, busy man. I don't see how you do it. Like, there's not enough hours in the day with everything that you got going on. So I'm not jealous of that. I've enjoyed my time of backing off of timing and just being able to go to meets when I can.
mm,
Um, but I do miss seeing you at track meets because you always had a smile every time I saw you. You didn't hassle me too much for too many changes, so I always appreciated that. Um, but again, thanks for your time, man, and I really do appreciate it.
no problem. Oh, could I make a quick promo real quick?
Absolutely.
So, I put on. Not only do I do the diocese cross country meets, I put on some cross country meets for River City Finish, and we put on one of the biggest regional meets, October 25th, at Ed Austin Regional Park. It is a state qualifier for the middle school meet. It'll be the first race starts at like 7:30 in the morning, and I think last year we had over 900 participants at the meet, 20 plus teams. It is one of the biggest regional meets in Florida, and a lot of kids come out of that meet and go to states and put on some and come back with hardware. So October 25th at Ed Austin, North Florida Cross Country Middle School Elementary Regional Championship.
Okay. Is there a website that they can go find the information and sign up?
Yes, that's on FL Runners or Mile Split, and click on the calendar, October 25th. Anyone can sign up to run it, and you don't have to be on a team. You can be unattached or school, club, whatever. Everybody.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Make sure you sign up for that and go get qualified for the state championship. And make sure you see Coach James while you're there. Give him a high five or yell out his name. That way he knows that you're watching this video. All right.
All right. I appreciate you, Dusty.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
You too.